Moms-to-be, this video is for you. I'm Dr. Jim at Five Parks Chiropractic here in Arvada, Colorado. I have a significant passion for babies. I tell all my pregnant moms, I say, listen, I will take care of you, I promise. I will do everything I can to make this experience, as wonderful and as joyful as possible and empowering to you. And at the same moment, I'll say, but you gotta know my energy is gonna shift to baby really fast. I'm a guy that's really, really interested in potential. I've kind of always been interested in potential, even when I was a skier and just a teenager and just woodworking and the art that I do now in chiropractic services and neurologically based for the kiddos, is that it's always really about potential. It's not really about not having symptoms and, I feel good, which is great. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. I want you to feel wonderful, but it really is about how well could this go. So if you are pregnant, if you are currently known to be diagnosed as being pregnant, I got really, really good news for you. First off, I've been practicing what's called the Webster technique. This is something you can Google. It's kind of all over the internet. It's been over there for a long time, since 1995. The premise of Webster technique is to make sure that the passage of baby goes as healthy as possible. So a lot of researchers will tell you that the most significant trauma anybody will ever have in their life is being born. And the osteopathic profession, along with JAMA, which is the Journal of the American Medical Association, recently put an article out there that 99 out of 100 looked at births, and these are the birth spectrum from healthy vaginal normal births all the way to cesarean to complications, preterms, the whole gambit. 99 out of 100 of these children had what's called a subluxation, or basically there was pressure on their nervous system right at the very top of the neck. When this occurs, you gotta kind of know that it's going to occur. I mean, honestly, we want it minimal, we don't want it huge. How we get it minimal is making sure that mom's pelvis and nervous system are so ready to go that you not only feel empowered, you're emotionally ready to go, but physically your body's neurology and structure and muscle tone. And we talk about all this as we go through your entire pregnancy, that you're ready. That you're ready to do the greatest thing that's ever happened to humanity, and that's to have a baby. I mean, you think about it, how much do we know that we're all driven, even if we don't have kids, but it's still kind of part of us that we're driven to procreate. It's just in our DNA, it's in our nature. So it's not even kind of a conscious thought, it's more of an innate, it's always in everybody thought that we're gonna have kids. So when we do enter this kid process of having babies, of course we want it to be at its best. My dad and my dad before my dad were pretty much constantly saying that I want you to do better than me. I mean, isn't that kind of what everybody wants, that our children to be actually a little bit higher up, the food chain or the ladder of success, whatever you want to call it, that they're a little better, whether they're more passionate, whether they're more intellectual, or they're more financially secure, or they're more community-based, or they're more just serving society. Whatever it is, we want our children to go just a little bit higher than we did. So I got really good news. There's a science called epigenetics. Kind of an interesting word, but pretty much it means our genetics and then how environment influences our genetics. So epigenetics has clearly shown that if you have a healthy lifestyle prior to conception, you can literally change your genome, your genetics, that improves it just a bit so that our next generation is better. So there's measurements, very clear measurements, that we are literally getting better each generation if we improve our lifestyle. And improving simple things like sanitation, which happened certainly in the 30s and 40s, these things have radically increased our lifestyle with good nutrition, good movement, good emotions. If we're doing this regularly, we're literally improving us. So if we do that well prior to conception, we're going to add that little extra benefit to our children. They're going to go forward, and they're going to go, and their kids are going to go forward, and then their kids are going to go forward, and we're just going to get better. It's very, very encouraging. We're kind of back to potential. I mean, how much better can we get? I want you to know that even though I'm male and I've never given birth, obviously, I've been around it, hundreds of times. I have 4 children of my own, which means I was in unfortunately NICU with our first child. I've been in the delivery room. I've seen all the complications. I've had the discussions with the medical doctors and nurses. You know, I've lived that life. I'm there. And I'm currently serving, you know, many pregnant ladies right at this moment. So I have a lot of compassion and I have a lot of understanding and I have a little different perspective on what you're going through, but I'll never really fully understand what you go through because you're the mom. But I listen well. I listen to what your concerns are. I listen to what your needs are. I listen to what your hopes and dreams are. So while we're trying to empower you in this wonderful process, it's a little scary. And it shouldn't be scary. It's scary because currently our medical model kind of delivers it that way. When was the last time you had a scan, you know, maybe on your baby or something, and all they did was 99% of the time point out the positives? It just doesn't happen. So I want you to understand that we do come across this in a different perspective. I'm not going to ignore the risks. I'm not going to ignore the complications, but I'm going to put most of our energy on towards what can happen and what will happen, right? More potential for your baby, but also you're going to go through it really feeling that you can do this, that you're designed for this. God made you to do this. So I want you to really feel encouraged. Let's go forward on this. I currently work with a lot of midwives and doulas, so we have a whole network of people that we can help you get involved with. But I want you to know that you should be empowered. You should make the decisions. If you don't like the path you're on with your current provider, there are options. You're in charge. I want you to know that that's how we see it going forward. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video.